Hello Sagittarius, Archie Dunlop here with your daily horoscope for Friday, January the 5th, 2024. Well, Sagittarius, in some respects, you are slowing down a bit. This is because, the moon is now in Scorpio. You're not going to be in quite the mood for large-scale socializing, and in many respects you will enjoy your own company. But that doesn't mean to say you can't have a useful day. There are things you need to consider. The kind of things that maybe only you can sort out. There's really not much use in getting other people's help, because these other people, they actually just mess things up for you, and really you do need to concentrate. That can be difficult for some Sagittarians, but it's all about accepting the times in which you live, and today is a particular time all of its own. And yes, if you can focus on something important and useful. Now that might mean money, because there is a bit of emphasis on the financial side of things today. And I mean that in a positive sense. After all, the moon is making a sextile aspect to Mars in Capricorn. Capricorn is an earth sign. Mars works extremely well in the sign Capricorn. So it's a time when you can start to focus on your finances, but in quite a methodical way. It's not about doing something which sort of makes you rich overnight. You need to kind of take a longer term perspective. Perhaps you should be thinking about what you can achieve between now and the middle of February. But it does need some quite intense concentration. You need to look at the figures and think about what is possible, and be practical. I mean, I know that Sagittarius sometimes has a reputation for being unpractical, for not considering sort of material details. I think that's an unfair reputation. I mean, particularly now, I think you really can consider what does need to be done. Now, there could be a few disturbances today. Some people or events will be trying to distract you, and so your job is somehow to deal with those distractions. I mean, it's not really about ignoring them, because sometimes if you just ignore a distraction, it just gets worse. Instead, it's about interacting with the distraction, and perhaps that just means being very clear about what you expect and your likes and your dislikes. I do think that the distracting influence will get the message. So I think, I think that is something something you really can do. So that is the main thing going on. I don't think it's going to be a particularly spectacular day. If you happen to be dealing with other people, and if you are really forced to deal with other people, particularly people you don't know very well, it's going to be unsatisfactory for a number of reasons, not just because of a distraction, but because of the way you're going to respond to people you meet. All of us have prejudices, and I think if you meet someone for the first time, your impressions are not going to be good. somehow you will see the people you meet as being not just not on your wavelength, but there'll be something I don't know, something distasteful about them. Uh, almost almost a feeling of I don't know, disintegration. That's a tough thing to say. But sometimes when you meet someone, you're thinking, where is this person going? What is this person doing? And you feel this sort of great negativity for this person's prospects and even identity. I mean, it's really nasty what I'm saying, I know. And that can reflect back on you, because when you see someone else appearing to be going nowhere, you start to feel that perhaps you're going nowhere. I mean, this is something really is about your psychology at the moment. So I wouldn't dwell on it, but I think that perhaps underlines the point that you're in no fit state to get heavily involved in your in your social life and in meeting people. It's just going to be unsatisfactory, and I think it's going to get you down. And it may be a similar situation if you're working today. When you're working, particularly if you're going out to work, you might look at your working environment. Perhaps the machines you're dealing with, if you have to deal with machines, computers, technology, all that kind of stuff. When you look at what you're having to work with, you'll be looking at this stuff and you're thinking, this isn't right. You may feel that it's out of date. You may feel that it's a relic of, I don't know, the previous decade or the 1990s, 1980s even. It will just seem old. Everything around you will seem old. Sagittarians do often like to focus on the future, on the new. And yeah, if you're working, for example, or if you're driving, you look at the car you're driving, and it's going to feel old. It's going to feel out of date. And so that's quite a negative view of your external environment. So this perhaps underlines the fact that today you need to be in an environment that you are responsible for, that ideally you have created yourself, and that you can't blame anyone else for it except you. So that's today. I don't think it's going to be the best day ever. I think there are a lot of reasons why you might be dissatisfied. But if you can just focus on money, slowly but surely, sorting out financial things, thinking about ways to enrich yourself. Enrichment is not an instant thing; it's going to take time. But if you set yourself on the course, then I think that next month you really will see some major improvements. Okay, Sagittarius, that's it. Thank you for listening, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.